funny, you know that video game channel I like? The Viva La whatever it's called? They were making fun of Dead by Daylight because you know how you have that one killer that takes a swing and then he like runs his knife over his sleeve? And like one of the survivors is like, "Why do you do that?" Like obviously like killers don't talk, right? They just talk with expressions. He's like, why don't you just go slash slash? He's like, you could literally kill him every time you do that. It's like he's trying to teach him, and he goes like, he slashes, and he's like, no, 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 don't do that. He like pauses, and he just keeps trying to like rub it on his sleeve. But at the end of the day, Cheyenne, he learned, and then he slashed the guy that was teaching him. And as he's dying, he's like, "I'm so proud of you." That's a good show. I like it. Clever Sons of Guns. If I had more money, I'd probably subscribe to their Patreon. Yeah. Sounds good, buddy. On that note, hey there, hi there, ho there, everybody. It's Mindful Pig here. This is the Two Tired Dudes podcast. On this episode, we're going to be talking about pet peeves. It was a good, wow, see, I was knowing you. We're talking about pet peeves. We're actually talking about pet peeves in video games and just gaming in general. So, like, example, we all bitch about those big price tags on video games. But what do we do every fucking time? We pay the goddamn price. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more things. I'm sorry, it's been such a long day today. I walked into work kind of forgetting that my truck was going to be 1,300 boxes, and I was like, "Oh, it's 1,000 something." And then I looked at the paper right before we started. I was like, "Fuck," which is such a devastatingly sad moment. I just watched my back room literally fill up to the point where I can't even bring these. They're called U-boats, but they're just like these big metal dollies that carry the boxes for us, and we usually can fit. I think 9 of them fit back there, and not even one can right now. It's so sad. So sad and so stressful. That's okay. We will figure it out. That's how I feel too, Bowsy. Yeah. Sorry, just lost my train of thought there. Let's see. I did quite a few things this past week. Yeah. Yeah, we did. I was going to get to that. That was going to be my creme de la crop to talk about, but... Yeah, Super Mario. Little turkey. So yeah, we did watch that. I'll talk about that soon. Okay, so last week of the podcast Tuesday, so Wednesday. Okay, so Wednesday last week I played Skyrim. Go figure. It's good. I really don't have any complaints. I don't think there was anything because I played it twice last week because I did like a surprise stream with Skyrim because I didn't feel like going to bed. Oh, it's such a good Pokemon. I can't believe it just didn't even appear. Oh, whatever. But yeah. What was it that I did? Wow, I have a real brain fart. I know one of them I kind of just goofed around and was like exploring and just, killing stuff, seeing how many dragons would attack me. The second one, I feel like I did a quest. Ooh, I remember what it was. Okay, the second one I did, the quest was I had to go to this little boy's house, but it was turned out to be like his dead mother's house. And I can't remember how she died, actually, what the story was. But the little boy was so upset, and he got sent to an orphanage. And when he was in that one, he was getting abused by one of the only caretaker in the orphanage. And apparently, she like abused all the kids, just like beat them and said they would never be adopted, stuff like that. Anyway, he escapes out of that. He runs all the way back to his house, which is where I meet him finally, and he's summoning the Dark Brotherhood. He's using the Night Mother ritual, and yeah, basically I appear, I take on the quest, I go, I kill the girl. None of the kids try and stop you, obviously. um, and yeah, I ended up finishing the quest. He gave me like 200 gold, which is pretty good for like a little kid. Um, and then sorry, I just remembered. It's really weird that because I'm trying to think at the end of the quest if it actually gave me this option or not, but I don't think it did. It's really weird that there was no option to adopt this kid. I mean, it's a sad story, right? So like, it'd be nice to like give him a happy ending. Um, but I do remember I was talking to this little girl in the town square, and she had like the saddest story. Like, I'm pretty sure she was like just running around having a good time, and like when you talk to her, her story's like, yes, my mother abandoned me, and I'm lost in this village, and I have nowhere to go and no money, and I have to beg for food. It's just like, holy crap, where did all this come from? And it basically ends the dialogue with saying, if you had a house, you could adopt her as your child. Which I don't have a house yet, so I made that one of my objectives. Like, okay, you know what? We're gonna get this little girl a place to live and some food to eat. Caring about non-real characters in a video game, eh? Like Jesus. But yeah, like it's been really good. Um, I'm still at that point. Like, I want to know what I'll feel like 40 hours into Skyrim, 50 hours into Skyrim. That's usually when I hit my breaking point. And I've done about, I'm going to say about 10 hours. I think it's been 10 hours of Skyrim so far. Because I have done a few, a few streams now. And each one of them is usually about an hour. Some are a little longer than an hour, right? But the majority of them are just 1 hour. Hey, Bousy. Um, yeah, I just wonder how long that hype's gonna stay going. I hope it will. I really do. I really hope this is the playthrough where I just fall in love with Skyrim. I'm trying to use the trophies too as a guiding point. Like right now, I'm just having fun. Just unlocking whatever unlocks. But at one point, when I feel like I'm starting to get dull or I'm, you know, in a rut or whatever, I'm gonna try to use the trophies as a way to keep myself motivated. It's like, oh, I could do this mission now, or blah blah blah. Let's see. Okay, so we did that one. Thursday is always the same. Thursday, I just basically did my editing. Sorry, I had a brain fart. I just basically edited, so that was nothing. Scrap that day away. Uh, Friday, I did my running around with Cheyenne. Oh, Friday we played some more Shadow of Mordor. Really good. Just a really really good game. Jimmy shared a really cool story with it last time. I can't remember if it was on the podcast. You just told me personally. Excuse me. But basically, he got killed by one of these orcs, and later on, he came across the same orc, but he was creeping up on him while the guy was talking to one of his buddies, like around a campfire. And he said, "Before I killed him, Matt," he's like, "No word of a lie." Um, he heard the orc talking about how he killed Jimmy's character, like bragging about it, right? And it's just that little cool feature, like it's just that little extra that they put in there that makes that game so good. I'm really excited to play Shadow of War next because I kind of looked up the difference in the Nemesis system between the two of them, and Shadow of War really like upped its game. So I'm kind of I'm kind of doped. I'm kind of excited to find out um, how that's going to impact the gameplay. Um, I feel like right now it's a really good, like I said, sandbox game. Like you make your own bosses, etc., etc. I feel like with the things that described on there, I hope it gives me that little bit more that I'm looking for. Like it's Shadow Border gives me exactly what I want. Don't get me wrong. Um, but for a sequel game, I'm hoping that this is going to be that little tick that puts it a little bit higher than the previous title. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't played it, like, please, for the love of God, try Shadow Mordor. It's so fun. You can be crap at games, and this game is just wicked. It's like Grand Theft Auto. I think that's the best way to explain it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just go in Grand Theft Auto, you don't have a mission, you don't have objectives, you just want to go into that world and have fun. And this game is that for me. I can go into this world and just have a good time. You know what I mean? I can literally just entertain myself. Because of the nemesis system, because of the constant respawn of orcs and all that. It's just it's just a blast. Far Cry gives me that same experience too. Um, just not to the same element, I would say. Because in Shadow of Mordor, I could wipe out an enemy base, but they'll still be in that base. Like when I come back, the base will still be populated. You know what I mean? And I like that. Where in Far Cry, I feel like as I was beating things, the bad guys, disappear. Like the original threat that you felt going in isn't the same the second time around. Where this one, the threat always feels real. And I like that. That's saying a lot because I love Far Cry. But yeah, this game definitely takes the cake. I also ran a poll on Twitter for Lord of the Rings, and funny enough, Shadow of Mordor, um, Two Towers, and the Third Age all got the exact same percentage. So everyone voted on basically one vote for each of those was put into it. So it's really interesting in Lord of the Rings games that it depends on what that person is looking for. There seems to be something for everyone at this point. The Two Towers was really good. I remember playing that one. Very difficult. I remember that was my gut reaction with the game because it was really heavy focused on parrying, and I couldn't parry for the life of me. I mean, I still can. That's why I don't do it in Dark Souls either. But that game, it was like you had to advance. But I enjoyed the leveling up system. I enjoyed the combat system. I thought everything was really fun. I just didn't like that they forced me to do that. The Third Age was fan freaking tastic. I could never praise that game enough. It is a perfect RPG. So happy it has couch co-op. Cheyenne and me had a great experience playing that one together. That's definitely one of the memory banks. I'll never forget the final boss. Either those two freaking elephants that were just impossible to beat. But it was good. It was so good. Like such a good experience. And then obviously Shadow Mordor I've talked about to my heart's content at this point. Um, yeah, and then after that I went to YouTube. Oh no, sorry, I played Fall Guys with Z-Chick and Tommy. I was gonna say Jimmy and Tommy, which was really really good. Um, Fall Guys is great, but we've been doing well, every so often. Sorry, we've been doing the creative ones or the creation ones, and there was a few that we played the other day that was just it was so wacky. I'll put it this way: Z Chick was laughing so hard, her face hurt. You know what I mean? It was just so ridiculous the levels. Tommy's freaking amazing. He's super good at it, and Z Chick is a really good player at it too. But me and her were just both struggling on this one level, and it was just so funny. Because you literally just see each other's beats, trying to jump to the platform. We kept missing it. You'd see him face plant, and then we try again, and obviously you're getting frustrated, so you're trying quicker and quicker. It just looks so funny. It just looks so hilarious. Or even we made progress, there was a chance that you could miss a platform and get sent back all the way to the beginning. So every time you saw your beans slowly going back to the beginning, it's just you had to laugh. You literally couldn't even get mad anymore. It was this is just so ridiculous. And it was funny, we finished it, right? We were all thank God it's over, we're happy. And then of course Z-Chick and Tommy are we should try it again. I feel like we could do it this time. So then we try it again, and yeah, we're yeah, that's it. Twice. That's the end of this level. Yeah, and then she ended up raiding out, and I raided it with her because we wanted to do a double raid. And yeah, then I switched over to YouTube and did a Skyrim stream, which was a lot of fun. Like I said, really liked that one. Oh, I also beat one of the Dragon Lords in Skyrim, which is really cool. The last couple streams I think I did, I ended up coming across one and he whooped my ass. This one, he still was gonna whoop my ass, but what I did differently this time around was I used my environment to my advantage. So shout out to Dark Souls because I would never think of using my um, environments if it wasn't for Dark Souls. Okay, 1 second. Sorry, let's blow my nose quick. I also really need to go back into Dark Souls again before we get into October, which is really close. Like this Friday, I'm going to go into PMP games. Probably, I kind of want to buy Apex in all honesty, because I played that on Monday, which I'll talk about. Um, I don't know. I kind of want to get it, to be real with you. It's been a lot of fun. Like I don't know. It's weird. It's a fun game with friends. It's not as fun when you're by yourself, but it has its moments. But I also feel like I'm at the point now where I've enjoyed enough where I wanted to put money into it. And I don't feel like buying any cosmetics, but like it'd just be cool to have a physical copy. So I might. We'll see. My main focus needs to be horror games. I need to make sure I have enough for the PlayStation 4. I might do a few test streams on the Xbox to see if it's worked out its features, because as I love the PlayStation. I don't want to stop using it, but it would be nice to have that variety, to switch between two different consoles. I have a lot of Xbox games, and as much as I'm enjoying buying them again on the PlayStation 4 and trying them out, like I don't want to obviously rebuy my entire collection that I have. So hopefully they have that worked out, so I can play Cyberpunk. I can play a lot of different games. I could try the new Starfield. Oh, hear you. Yeah, that's Friday. Sorry, I was thinking, yeah, okay, so that's what we do Friday. And then grocery shopping and all that other stuff. And then, yeah, so Monday on Apex, I ended up playing with 2-6, which we did like pretty decent. I think we had a couple of rough starts, and it was not him. Like he's freaking amazing at the game, like just excellent player. It was 100% me. I was bringing the squad down. Not even gonna lie. Um, I ended up must have been like an hour and a half into it. I ended up realizing that the pistol was like my way to go. I still don't understand. Like I really don't understand why the pistol like changed my entire game element. I need to talk to 2-6 and find out like what's so special about it. Cause like I was using usually I'm an assault rifle person, right? So I was using a lot of assault rifles. I tried like the SMGs, like I tried everything I could possibly get my hands on. Shotguns. Like I found that with different RPGs, different guns seem to work better for me. But like nothing was clicking. And then I picked up this pistol and it was like boom, 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 like 5 shots and they would be knocked out. And I'm like, man, like I'm never this good at Apex. What changed? And like I ended up winning with a pistol. We came down to the last team and like yeah, like I saw the guy and I just boom boom boom, right, headshots and down, like he was wiped out. I was like, fuck man, I just won Apex with a pistol. So yeah, I had to ask. Maybe it's a lot stronger than I don't that I'm not aware of. Um, yeah, like I feel like I've sprayed people with bullets with assault rifles and stuff like that. Like we're talking like 20, 30 shots, and like they're still alive. And like the pistol was literally 5 shots, and that person dropped. And again, like in the second match, I used the pistol again. It was the same experience, like it's just yeah. That got me excited. I kind of want to play it again just to um, relive that pistol play. Yeah, so that was Monday. Today's Tuesday. No, just kidding. Um, Before I get into the movie I watched, the last thing I want to give a shout out to is Breath of Fire. I've been playing that on the Switch for the Super Nintendo. Now, the thing with this is like anytime I feel like I'm gonna talk about um, old school games on the Switch, because really that's all I'm using my Switch for. I think there are some Switch games that I want to try and I want to play and yada yada yada. But my main excitement with it right now is the fact that I can play old school games again. and not have to bring out the whole Nintendo or whatever. Or I could try Super Nintendo games. I never owned one, right? Um, how do I say this? I want to hype these games up, and I think they should be played. But you also have to remember going into them that these are old games. There's a lot of things that gaming has definitely changed and made better over time. Um, that you don't realize until you play these older games. Like example, the random encounters. Holy crap, is that irritating after a while? Like I had to play Pokemon again just to see. Well, no, Pokemon made it exciting because at least in Pokemon you could catch different things. You know what I mean? So it made the random encounters more entertaining and more exciting to get involved with. But it's just like enemy appears, kill it, get experience, etc., etc. It gets to be a real drag, especially like when you're trying to navigate through the levels. And Breath of the Fire, or sorry, yeah, Breath of Fire doesn't really have any intense levels. Like most of them are anywhere between 2 to 3 floors, which is very reasonable. Shout out to them for that at least, because I'm glad that they're very quick, fast dungeons. You know what I mean? You're not traveling too far. Which, in the same breath, is a little bit annoying because I noticed that they like to make you start from the beginning and work your way back again. Like their example, the last one I did, had to fall through these holes to find the last door, and most of the holes you fell through took you all the way back to the beginning, and then you had to go travel all the way back to the top of the tower, find a different hole to go through this one, memorize which ones you've already gone through. Right? It was just that was a little tedious. It made the random encounters really annoying after that. But like, okay, all around though, like it is a really good game. It's got that nice RPG story to it, which I'm enjoying. I love old school RPGs where they would just level everything up for you, and all you did was just keep grinding on the level, or customize what weapons you want to wear and armor, etc., etc. I love having random characters in my party and not really having to think about who to add. I'd rather have a game just only have 4 characters. And that's all I can have in my party. Like I'm okay with that. I don't need to customize whatsoever. Like sometimes I just want that basic B RPG experience, and that's exactly what this is. I've waited so long. Chrysalis is great. Don't get me wrong. I want to get back into Chrysalis. I guess I'm not ready yet to play it. Like I'm at a good part right now. I'm kind of almost where I was at when I stopped as a kid. So that's good. Before I venture to the next chapter of all that, right? I really wanted to get that RPG feeling in a way, that turn-based combat. Because in Chrysalis, it's all like action combat. So maybe it's real-time battles, whereas in these games, right, it's turn-based. So I take my turn, he takes his turn, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, I need that in my life right now. I got pretty far. I think I'm at the 4th place now in the game, so it kind of goes from town to town. And yeah, I'm really digging it. Like I'm really digging it. I'm more than confident I will finish Breath of Fire all the way through, and it looks like I can get number 2 as well for the Super Nintendo. So that's pretty sweet. And I'm actually gonna start looking to see like what's the 3rd one. Okay, where can I get it? The 4th, because I want to say that it's still a series nowadays. I I feel like there must have been a new one. So that's kind of exciting if I can build my way up to that. Yeah. I mean, I still got Oxenfree. I still got lots of games on the Switch I need to actually beat. Um, Breath of the Wild, like I said before, that probably won't be one. It's a shame that didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to. Like, I'd rather just get like a remaster of Ocarina of Time than do Breath of the Wild at this point. So that's saying a lot because Ocarina of Time is a hell of an adventure. Yeah, yeah. I think that's it for gaming. Okay, so here's the movie time. So I don't know if it was Saturday or Sunday. Must have been, was it yesterday? You watched Super Mario? Sunday? Okay. So on Sunday, Cheyenne surprised me. We ended up watching the Super Mario Brothers movie. I have just so many good things to say about it, but I just want to make sure I'm going to say it all correctly. So I guess the first thing I should say is that it is definitely the like I didn't see anything, just to be clear. Like I watched the trailer and that was pretty much it, which looks like it was just a plumbing commercial from the actual movie, which is great. I love that it was just that. That it didn't give away anything big. But it is single handedly the best video game movie I have ever seen. Um, I would even be I would even go as far to say that because I know I'm a gamer, right? So it's for like someone who's not a gamer, it probably wouldn't be up there. But it was just so well done. It is honestly one of the best movies I have seen so far. And literally, again, that comment is based solely on the fact if you are a gamer, because just how they like tip the hat to the Mario levels themselves. Like there's this beginning scene. I don't want to spoil obviously anything crazy, right? But there's basically this beginning scene where it's something as simple as them running from one job to the next job in the city. So a normal person would be two people just running, right? Like just running from one end to the next. But they did it from like a side panel view. So you could see, the wall was flat, basically, or the city that they were in. I think it was, okay, it's Brooklyn. So Brooklyn was flat, right? But they had like platforms or like cars, gates, window seals, whatever it was, right? And they made like little platforms, so it literally looked like a Mario level. And as Mario's running through it, right, he's opening up gates for Luigi, so Luigi could get through because he can't run and jump like Mario can. It was so cool, and they had multiple scenes where they tipped the hat, like I said, to the Mario levels. Lots of great characters were um, spotlighted. Diddy Kong, random one. Um, they had I always forget the wizard dude's name, but he's like one of the main bad guys, which is pretty cool. They had the penguins in there. Hey, oh yeah, the blue star guy, yeah. Oh, he was great too. But yeah, there's just there's just a lot of like little, like I said, little tips of the hat to the characters in there, and it was just so good. It was just so freaking good. I like that Bowser had his moments where he really stood out. I figured I froze at first, like, is it Gabby? I think it's Gabby. No worries, it's all good. I hope your day's going good, Gabby. Um, yeah, I like how Bowser had like his badass moments, but then he also had like like those really cheesy funny moments. The Peaches song was great too. That was definitely hyped up properly. I really enjoyed that one, and even a little tribute at the end too of the movie. He like, sings the song basically twice. Um, oh, that's cool, Gabby. You were playing Fall Guys? I didn't know you streamed one time. Um, Oh, thanks, Cheyenne. Sorry, on here it just says that the person subbed, but I have to look on here to see the actual sub. Okay, I'll change that quickly. Oh, Cheyenne, wait. I think that makes it. Yeah, that makes it a 10. You get to pick the next piece of chicken. It's fucking always spicy with you people. Oh, wait, can I just edit it on here? Oh, no worries, Gabby. Did it just break on you or what? Yeah, so it quickly changes the 10. Oh. Oh, damn, I can't change it on there. You have to do it the old fashioned way. So for those of you that don't know, I'm basically doing another challenge for September. So if I get 2 subs, I pick another piece of chicken to put into the bucket. It can either be spicy or it could be mild, basically. And yeah, at the end of September, I'll do a video where I eat all the chicken that was collected during this month. And once we hit 20 subs, then people can start getting creative. You know, they can order French fries, they can order a milkshake, they can order whatever they want, basically. Um, Wouldn't work for some reason for streaming. Oh, okay, that sucks. But yeah. Like I love that movie. Like I literally can't think of one thing that entire time I was watching it that wasn't entertaining or that would make me, rewatch it and go, oh, this part. Like it was all great. I love the penguins in the beginning. They were so badass, and then I like the fact that instead of making them like super strong, they still made them like penguins, like just cheesy little things. Um, if you didn't see it, right? Basically, there's a scene where they're gonna take on Bowser, and they start throwing these snowballs, and it looks so like intense and everything. And then it shows it from Bowser's point of view, and it's like doing nothing to him; it's just like bouncing off his body. Like it's so cute. But yeah, Gabby had a good shout out too. There's this little blue star that you see later on in the movie. He's in a prison cell, and he's just so depressing, but like in a really funny way. I love when they're slowly being dipped into the lava. He's so happy and excited. He's like, "Yeah, the end is almost here." Oh. And the Mario Kart scene too. That was really wicked. Same with Donkey Kong and Mario's fights. Like, oh, it's just that movie was good. Like, just so damn good and so smart. Like to take something that, I mean, it has a story, obviously, Mario, right? But like to take like the old school one, you know what I mean? Um, and like kind of give it a story along with like how Mario got to the Mushroom Kingdom and all that stuff. It was just, yeah, it was just so good. Like, it's just so damn good. Woo, you got Charmander. Way to go, Gabby. That's a good starter. Yeah, so that was my big movie. I honestly can't think of anything bad to say about it. If I get the opportunity, I definitely want to have my mom watch that one. I think she would get a really big kick. I just have to figure out if she has access to that or not. Other than that, it's just been like a lot. Futurama. Like that's pretty much all I've watched. I think we've literally watched it now 2 times. One might be because of laziness, just not being able to switch to the station, or like just being indecisive which one to watch. But two, I don't know. I really got back into Futurama hard, and there's just a lot of like good jokes. I think in that show. I think that show is just really well done. I've praised it quite a few times. But yeah, I just honestly think that Futurama is just, yeah, excellent storytelling. Hey Z Chick, thanks for the raid. How's your night? Yeah, it's the peep trade. Oh, thank you. I will hydrate. Uh, Z Chick. There we go. Oh, you're playing Genshin Impact. Exhausted and ready for bed. Oh, I feel ya. I hope Genshin was treating you good today, though. um, yeah, yeah. So that's pretty much been my entire week as far as gaming and movies go. I need my buttons. Hell yeah, you do. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you at least got to game before you went to bed. Well, in case you have to go to sleep right away, Z-Chick, I hope you have a great night. Thank you so much for sharing your viewers. Um, trying to think if there was anything else. No, I don't think that's it. Actually, that's pretty much all I had. So for you guys that popped in, and for anyone that was interested in joining in the conversation, basically tonight's podcast episode was going to be all about pet peeves for gamers. Things that end up becoming an annoyance. So, for example, you have those people that, well, for almost everyone, I guess, at this point complains about video game pricing, right? In the same breath, we literally go to the game store and pay that $8, $9 price, So you want a solution, but you're only helping the problem. Oh, you have to give 445? That's too damn early. I feel you, though. I literally get like 4 every morning, too. Early mornings suck. Or like another one I was saying is people get upset right over EA and like companies like that, but yet the new game comes out and what do? We just all freaking buy that game. What's that, Tommy? I told you I was gonna have it today. Oh, you did it! Oh wow! Congratulations, Tommy. That's fantastic, buddy. Oh, way to go, man. That was a hell of a milestone. Here, let me give you. Oh, thank you, Z-Chick. I was just trying to do that. We are all walking game contradictions. Yes, we are, Z-Chick. Oh, I rated Mom last night. I used your emote and my emote together. It's so funny rating Mom because she never notices. Like, I love it. She's just so into whatever she's doing. You are an excellent mod. Hell yeah. But it was so nice. If you guys get the chance in the future, anyone that's watching, right? Check out your mom's channel. She has great videos that she always puts together, whether it's Minecraft or Fortnite or whatever the game is that she's played. As I'm sure Z-Chick has mentioned before, she's ever talked about her, but it's basically your mom's voice that's like so good, like she literally has the mom voice. Like, if you just want to relax, whatever you're doing, drink edibles, whatever the case is. It's just nice to like just sit there and like listen to her talk about whatever the story is, whatever she's working on. Definitely one of the highlights I think for her streams. For level 41, it's going to be 6 million experience. Oh my god, Tommy. How do you just have the patience for that? Like, that's it's so ridiculous. And like the reason like it stresses me out is because I know you told me that like you have to basically like be fully committed when an event happens in order to like level up that amount. Because you said right, like just playing the game basic, like with no lucky eggs or like that. Oh, thank you, Z Chick. I appreciate it. Yeah, play without the lucky eggs and all those other little tidbits. You barely would even move up, right? Exactly, her voice puts me to sleep. Exactly, in a good way, of course. Yeah, like that's what I was saying, Tommy. Like whatever, like our pet peeves are with gaming. Um, oh, I don't have that set up. I'm so sorry. I got it, Kate. You and oh my god, Django need to just remind me of some of those basic commands, and I'll set them up for you guys. Because I have commands set up, but I think they're just under different names, so I'll put it under ones that are easier to remember. I'll remember that one though. I'll have to put hashtag or hashtag exclamation mark Discord. But yeah, I think that's the reason why it doesn't work for you, Django, most of the time. Hey, Pizza, how's it going, buddy?
Oh, it's going good. How about you?
Not too bad, buddy. Just chit chatting with everybody on the stream.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. It's just you today?
Yeah. If for those of you that don't know, or if you want to give him a little congratulations, JW is officially off on his honeymoon now, with his or his wife, I should say. And I think he'll be gone for a couple weeks.
Oh, well, I'm glad for that. I'm glad that he's able to, you know, do stuff outside of Discord. So awesome. Hopefully, it goes well, and we'll see him again.
Oh yeah, yeah. He still posts some pictures and everything. Um, that he's going to. I know he's not staying in his state or province. Sorry, I know he's going to be traveling. I just can't remember where he said he's going to go to. Oh, and Z-Chick says hello to you, pizza.
Oh, hello, hello.
Um, okay, sorry, Tommy. Let me try to miss anything. Oh, Tommy just said hello as well. Pizza, get in my belly. um, but yeah, pizza. How's your week been, buddy?
Oh, it was good. Just kind of relaxed. Kind of took a little chill pill yesterday in the weekend, so now I'm just ready for Friday to hit.
Ooh, why? What's going on Friday? Just the day off, or?
Oh no, it's just that after Friday we have the next weekend off, so I'm only working 4 days this week because we were off Monday.
Oh yeah, yeah, because of the holiday, right? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I just been kind of relaxing yesterday, and so yeah, I'm just kind of going through the motions until Friday hits.
Are you gonna do anything special though? Like, are you gonna play any games, or do you want to make any videos? Or are you just gonna take it easy?
Yeah, I'll probably just yeah, I do want to make some videos. I've been wanting to get back into streaming. I just have to carve out some time for it after work, but yeah, I've been wanting to really just kind of get back into it, even if it's just for an hour or so, just kind of doing it because I've been wanting to do it lately, and I have some more games to play, so it's definitely on my to-do list. If not the weekend, well, if not during this week, I'll do it during the weekend.
Speaking of games, Tommy was asking you, Pizza. Do you play Pokemon Go, or have you played Pokemon Go before? He can't remember if he asked you that.
I have heard about it, but I had never really played it. I'm not really much of a Pokemon guy. I have just seen people kind of running around on their phones playing it, but it looks cool. It definitely looks pretty cool, but yeah, Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, they're not really my cup of tea because I'm not really much of a card player. Not a card player in that sense. The only cards I play are like poker or blackjack. Those kind of card games.
Yeah, of course. No, I get you, my man. Yeah, it's really ridiculous. Tommy kind of updates me on his, and at the level he's at for that game, it's really crazy what they expect you to do to level up. Like example, he needs like 6 million experience points to get to his next level. Uh,
Yeah, that's cool. But I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, it's a really weird game. I like it though, but yeah.
oh, definitely. Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, I was thinking about something fun to do on Twitch. I've been trying to figure out what game I could play that's fun and also like inviting. But I'm thinking I might just stick to the emulator, like the Spyro games, because I still have to go. I have to beat the game. I think after the last time I played the Spyro game was on Twitch, so I think I want to kind of get just a bit more done.
I was gonna ask you too. I think I asked you in the YouTube comment. I can't remember now. But the one game you were showing off last on your channel was Second Life. What was that one about? It was kind of interesting watching your tutorial.
No, it's like a sim. Well, it's a simulation type game, social thing. It was just to help
Oh,
people. Yeah, it was just to help people get used to it, like just kind of get into it. But yeah, it's not like an actual video game. But yeah, I moved that to my other channel for like when I do things that are not gaming related, I kind of move to a different channel. But yeah, I just put that out there. But yeah, it's nothing like an actual game. I guess you can play like games on there, but it's not like video games.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, no, I never heard of that one before. I mean, I was watching because I was like, it was a really good like tutorial lesson. Like, I mean, by somebody who's never played before, I was like, I was understanding the controls and what you were going through and stuff. Yeah, I was just curious.
Well, I'm glad you like it, but yeah, it was. I kind of wanted to just try and help out people understand how to start it up because I know that I was lost on it for a while. So I figured if I can make a video helping people get used to it, it'll open up more just having fun on there and being more social.
That's I'm curious too, Pete. I don't know if you have like a rhyme or reason to it, but like all of your videos are really unique, right? And they're usually different from one another. Like, what inspires you to like make some of those videos? Like, where do you get your ideas from? Like, are you just sitting there and you're like, "Hey, man, this would be a cool topic to discuss," or do you already have it planned in your head?
Yeah, I just kind of think whatever comes to mind, I'll do it. I tried doing the whole planning for a video thing, but it doesn't work out because when I make plans to do a video, it, it will never be on the top of my mind. So I'll put it on the back burner. And then when I come back home or I'm just sitting around bored, it'll kind of just escape my mind. So yeah, I kind of just do stuff off the cuff, which it helps me a lot because it helps me kind of clear my head. And I think that's why I don't make plans with YouTube because I have all these ideas in my head that I don't know which one to put on first. So yeah, nowadays I just say, hey, I'll make a video about this, and then it'll be one less thing that's cluttering my mind.
Kudos to you. Like, I'm surprised, yeah, because yeah, they always come out so well done. As far as like I said, explaining your point and everything. So I was always curious if you just had like a big list of videos that you wanted to make and you were just slowly firing them out. But that's cool. Literally, it's just like off the top of your head.
Uh, yeah, I yeah I do want to do more with it, and I know for a fact that once I get comfortable, once the weekend hits, or really once Friday hits, I'll be able to actually just chill out and start booting up OBS.
Yeah. Well, like I said before, right? I think you'd give some amazing game reviews, just based on like I said how well you explain points, and you're usually pretty good for giving pros and cons. It's not like you always just focus on one side. Um, so yeah, I think you'd give some pretty good game review videos.
Then yeah, I'll definitely keep that up then because there are some people who do like it, and I want to be able to do more on there. I just really have to get myself, back in that. But yeah, I think for now, like for the time being, I'm gonna go on Twitch because that's been on my mind for a while, and it's going to just bug me
Oh, of
if I don't
course.
do it.
Tommy was adding on. He said, Second Life looked okay, but best probably was PlayStation Home. Unfortunately, that ended in 2015. Z Chick was just adding on to the YouTube comment. She was just saying, "Yeah, I need more ideas for my YouTube. I need subs. Maybe I should start streaming on there again. Yeah, streaming's really good for YouTube, Z Chick, especially with the PlayStation. Right? It's really cool that we can just literally make little effort to put it up on there.
Oh yeah, I might start streaming on YouTube. I think I did a few times, and I don't know if it was better than Twitch. I just know that it was a lot easier to do because, like YouTube already had, well, YouTube has a better like interface and it has a better it feels a lot more fluid and more functional than Twitch does. So I like it for that reason. I just I haven't been on YouTube because it's just that I have subs and followers on Twitch, so I figured I'll do it there. But I do want to kind of move away from that and really try something else. Because I mean, YouTube sounds like it's probably gotten better over the months, so I'm definitely gonna give it a shot.
The other one too, you can always look at pizza if you want, is Kick, right? I don't know if they're still offering it, but there was a point there where they were even offering people like bi-weekly paychecks just for being on that app. I'm sure there was certain qualifications you needed, right? But they were low enough where people were actually using that to their advantage. Um, yeah, just another platform to stream
Mhm.
on, and I think it
Yeah,
had
that's
um, the same payout as YouTube. So I can't remember. I think it's 50-50 for Twitch when it comes to subs, whereas YouTube I think is 60-40, and I think Kick was offering 70-30.
I see. That's cool. I don't know if they are offering that. I never even knew they were offering money just to be on there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Although
no,
I guess I missed out on that train. I mean, when Kick was even coming out, I never really bothered with it, mainly because I was still doing my stuff on Twitch, and then I kind of lost interest when Kick was coming out. But that's cool. Maybe they do.
yeah.
And now, if it's easier to use Kick, like it's almost as simple as just pressing a button, or it's just more fluid and more functional, then I might use it then.
Well, like I was saying on Twitter before, right? There's nothing wrong with using as many as you want. Competition is always healthy because of all these things that are going on, right? Twitch has changed a lot of things that have been better for us, right? And vice versa. YouTube's changed some of their re- requirements needed. Um, Oh yeah, Z Chick did the same. My son left Twitch for Kick. Yeah, exactly. And I'm curious if he ever gets a chance to tell you how his experience has been now on Kick. But yeah, what I was saying is there's no contract anymore saying you have to just be on Twitch, just be on YouTube, just be on Kick, right? You can be on all these platforms and just kind of feel them out, feel it works for you. I mean, at the end of the day, if you got a good viewership in all three of them, then kudos to you. Like you're making something work. For me, like I said, I get a little bit from streaming on YouTube, but definitely I find Twitch is the better one to stream on just for myself. Like it's where all you guys are at, right? It's usually where I get to talk to everyone that is in the Discord community. YouTube, and I think Pizza liked it or commented on this, mentioned before too. YouTube, I find that shorts is a really good way to go. I found that I got the most views doing shorts. Um, I found that I got a lot of subs quickly too, if that's what you're looking for, Z Chick, on YouTube. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. You should. I mean, you should give it a try. Having a live on YouTube. There's nothing wrong with that. It's at the end of the day, it's just another video that's up there, right, for people to enjoy the stuff that you're doing. But I definitely think, and you already do it, C check. I think subs is a great, or short, sorry, is a great way to go on YouTube. It's definitely like that little hidden gem. I think that YouTube has been utilizing a little bit more. I don't know. That's just my opinion, at least.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I know that way back when, I think during COVID or the year after COVID, I was on these. I was, I guess, in these not like Twitter circles, but they're just like little discussions on Twitter where people are saying, "Hey, drop your name," and then people will go ahead and follow you. And
Yep.
I don't know if it worked or not, but I know that everybody was doing it. And I think I did it a few times, and I got a few subs, but not a lot. Probably because I wasn't really streaming at the time. I just threw my hat in there to see if somebody would subscribe, and a few did. They're still there. I don't know if they're like bots, if they're inactive or what, but I still have those people. So I think I might go and do that then. I might go back and like do those little group Twitter threads and just say, hey, follow me on here. And then by the time they do it, I'll be streaming.
Yeah, I mean that's a great way to do it too. I did the same thing with my Twitch channel, right? especially in the beginning when you have to get that 50 followers or 100 followers. Like sometimes that could be the longest grind. And yeah, there's nothing. I don't see anything wrong with a little follow for follow. Like I know it's like an empty viewership, yada yada yada, but like obviously it's going to help the algorithm along the way, right? The more viewers, subs, followers, whatever the case is that you have, the more you're going to start to pop up more on someone's newsfeed, right? And eventually you will meet people that you'll have an actual interaction with and a conversation with. Yeah, I think that's great, pizza. I think that's a good way to boost the numbers.
Oh, yeah. So I wonder. I'm sure they still do it. So I'll check it out one of these days. Maybe on Friday. I mean, I'm not on Twitter as much as I used to be, just because now it's kind of out of the way for some reason. It's just it's become one of those apps that's just you know I might get it if I remember it, but yeah, it's kind of died down. But yeah, I think maybe this weekend I'll go on there and just start reaching out to people and saying, "Hey, come follow me." Of course, I want to do it when I'm streaming,
Yeah,
because I think if I do it before, I might get tied up and just won't be able to do it. And if I do it later, well, who knows what time it is? Well, who knows when I'll do it again? So I want to do it like the second I press the stream button. I'm gonna send all my little comments to say come follow me. That way, I have the best chance of getting all the subscribers who are interested in me, and not just having someone come to the channel, see that I was off, and then leave.
I think that's good too, because like especially because you'll be live, right? You can actually see the impact that those little messages made. You know, like people can actually say, "Hey, I saw your message, and I you know went to go check on you and see what your stream is all about." Um, oh, I I know I have you pizza, but I think it's Hawaiian dude. But Z Chick was just curious what your Twitter name was, so she can follow you.
Let me check. Let me see right now what it is. I think it's no, it's not the same. It's something different. So my Twitter handle is it's what a gamer
Oh
96.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hawaiian dude is just on Discord.
Oh, yeah, that's my YouTube and my Twitch thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I should have made. Well, I wanted to make them all the same, but I think when I was like doing all the renaming, I forgot about some of these apps. So yeah, Twitter was the one that got left out.
Z Chick says when she adds you, hers will be Z Chick 95.
Okay. Oh, well, then I'm sure we follow each other then in that case, because I've seen her posts, or I have seen her post. Maybe she doesn't know who I was, but yeah, I have. Yeah, I think I'm following her actually on my page, my feed, whatever you want to call it, my main page.
Z Chick, yeah, yeah, I post a lot. Sorry, Pizza, do you want to say it one more time? She just didn't hear you when you said your Twitter handle. It was What a Gamer?
Yeah, what a gamer 96.
What a Gamer 96, Z Chick.
Yeah, and it's a picture of space kind of thing.
Oh, nice. Z Chick also put one more comment on there, which is good. If I didn't tell you yet, Pizza, the topic of discussion tonight was supposed to be pet peeves that you have either with the gaming industry, gamers in general, like anything. So an example I gave was, we all hate video game pricing and we bitch about it, but yet what do we do the minute a new game launches? We pay that full $90 and forget that we were complaining about 2 weeks prior. So Z Chick, hers that she wanted to say was when people unfollow. So okay, sorry. When people unfollow, so like when they follow, they come in on a raid and then they unfollow at random. I totally get that too. I think you brought this up before, Z Chick. And like you made such a good point with it. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna steal it. Um, how'd you say it now? Like it doesn't cost anything to follow. It doesn't like do anything to follow somebody else. And like I remember like we both felt the same way. They would just we find it so irritating when someone literally just like, yeah, exactly. You'll literally go back and they unfollow you. It's like why? Like what was the point? Like I mean like yeah, I might unfollow people on Twitter if I, start disagreeing with some of the stuff that they're saying. I just don't want it on my news feed. But like on Twitch, like where like the most you'll ever see is their like name pop up. You know what I mean? Like exactly. It's just it costs nothing. It doesn't do anything on Twitch. Even on YouTube, right? Like half the time I can't even see the people that follow me. I don't know if that's a glitch on my channel, but it shows me very randomly who will sub to my YouTube. But I noticed it doesn't do it for all of them. Yeah, and you can turn off notifications. I would 100% agree. Because, like, like at the end of the day, even if I'm never going to watch that person's Twitch stream, or it might be extremely rare that I come across it, why the hell would I unfollow them when they're trying their little journey too? I really agree. That one, yeah, that one's a pet peeve of mine too. Exactly, and keep the numbers that we need. No, Zichik, you have every right. Like I said, you made a solid point the first time you brought that up, and it's still very relevant today. There is literally no reason to do it. Um, yeah, like I don't get people sometimes in that way. And the worst is like the graphic artists and the bots. Like just fuck off, just fuck off. I hate that shit. Sorry, pizza.
Oh,
What about you, buddy?
oh, oh. So you were saying like pet peeves, just in general, like in the gaming world mainly.
Yeah, like either with gamers themselves, like in Zichik's case, she was saying, um, hers is with streaming related. Um, you could be,
Oh,
I
okay.
know from the past, right, you've had a lot of things that you were annoyed with Sony or Xbox as far as like games getting produced. It's kind of like our little bitch fit right now. We're just kind of talking about things that annoy us.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm just kind of sticking with that for like my pet peeve because, I think, I mean, I'm kind of tame about it now because I, the Steam Deck has been doing a lot of work for me and I enjoy it. Plus, we have the PS4 emulator coming out pretty soon. Well, not soon, but it's working pretty well. So once that becomes commercially available, I'll just go and play games on PC like I did before. So, it's still a pet peeve that, they don't care about legacy players, but I was able to find a sweet spot by going to someone else.
Um, Breakaways not Oh, poor Tommy. Um, is it? How do I say this? Does PlayStation like upset you the most with their like developers that they have in the back of their head, or is Xbox the one that upsets you? Would you say, or is it kind of like equal between both of them? Because no, it's another one that you brought up like in the past, right? It's just like they have all these great companies, but then they never seem to do anything with them.
Um, um, I don't know if yeah, I kind of stopped really like getting all my feelings about it. I know that with PlayStation, that was really where my grievances were because they didn't have things such as backwards compatibility. They didn't have a way for us to play these older games natively through a CD. It was all downloading or streaming, and streaming was very much hit or miss, and it still is. Even if it's not hit or miss, I'm still paying a lot of money to play PS3 games when I could do that for free. Sorry, I can do it for free on by downloading it. I'm not having to stream the games. So yeah, they and plus they had back to PlayStation. They have all these IPs that they could be using to get attention and garner more attention and more talent, but They don't want to do that. They want to make new things, which is fine. You can do that, but when you forget about the old times or you forget about the old days and what made you who you are, then it's like, you know, where does the line for loyal fans um or legacy players, because it might get to the point where they're only focused on new games, and new games. Everything that happened from the PS4 on downward is not important, which, I would hate for that to happen, because then it's just showing that they don't care at all about the people who were here since day one.
Yeah, like I really do understand, whether it's JW or Jimmy or like whoever. Like I know Jimmy's kind of a little bit different with it, but it's anyone in basically in general that has that defense line where it's like, yeah, but this makes money. It's like I do understand that, but like I guess one is what made that switch? Like, why did everyone all of a sudden get that mindset? Because you made a really good point. Like, whether it was Xbox 360, N64, Dreamcast, whatever it was, like, there was such a big variety of games. And, like, I know we do have a lot of games now. Like, this year was fantastic as far as games that came out. Um, but just, it never feels like we had the variety of, like brand new IPs or whatever the case was, coming out like we did back in the day. And like, yeah, I get it. It's not going to make a lot of money, but it's still like a different direction, a breath of fresh air, whatever term you want to use, for that game developer. Um, I don't understand it. Like I literally don't understand it in that aspect. Like you said, if you have Donkey Kong, or if you have, who was the other one? Mischief Maker. I played that one in 64. I'm trying to think of some, like you say, for Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, like all these games. Like, yeah, okay, they're not going to bring in a lot of money, but they're going to give that console another reason to buy it, another reason to own it, another, like, yeah, it literally doesn't make sense to me. Like, why not just take it? It's not like all these companies are strapped for cash. It's not like they can't afford to release a lower budget game. Like in reality, right? Like I'm pretty sure they could take it. And I think you brought up a good point for you, John, when you said that about Xbox. Like they've taken some risks, and those games have really underperformed. So like if you're willing to take the risk on a game like Redfall, what's stopping you from letting Rare make another Conker's Bad Fur Day, or like a game like that? Like why? Like what? Where is the logic in it? Why are you willing to invest so much money in a game, um, that literally sucks 2 weeks after it's launched? It doesn't hit any of the targets, but you're too chicken shit to make a game that literally has, like you said, a loyal fan base, legacy players that want that. They want to play that now, and they want to have that new adventure and whatever their game of choice was. Yeah, that baffles my mind.
Oh, yeah. So I I wish I knew why they wouldn't do it, but I think when I started to actually just kind of move away from it, and just looking at it, looking away from it, like just kind of not caring, I have seen it looks worse from the outside, I think.
Yeah,
So I just left it alone with the PC gaming. And yeah, with how far they are on the emulator, I don't even think it's going to be an issue, because once Bloodborne and any Yakuza game, or really any PS4, any game tied to the PS4 that has not come to PC or Xbox, well, it's going to be free game now. And I'll feel better getting it because of the fact that I can now play PS1, 2, 3, and 4 games all on one thing and not have to buy different consoles to get the experience.
That's a really good point. Yeah, yeah. Emulators are getting really far. Like it's kind of crazy. I remember when they first came out, right? Well, at least when I was first using them, we were talking about like Nintendo or Super Nintendo or like Game Boy games. It's crazy that like we're up to almost PS4 games now. Like that blows my mind that you can just play those.
Yeah, definitely. But that's just my pet peeve. It's not like the biggest one. Of course, it's not the end of the world.
No, no.
Mainly because I was able to actually, well, to me, it's the end of the world because I was able to find alternatives that worked a lot better. So, it is a step back in the wrong direction for these companies, but when they make when they make steps in the wrong direction, you can always expect people on PC to give you something. Give you something, whether it be an alpha of the game, whether it be a beta, whether it be an early release of the game. They'll give it to you because that's just that's how they operate, which is cool because I can see A, what I've been missing on, or B, just if it's worth my time, especially older games. 'Cause I haven't really played a lot of them. I played only a few older games back in the PS1 era. So there's stuff I still haven't experienced. And I can do that on PC for free because I'm sure these games cost $100 for a game that came out almost 20 years ago.
Well, even what's that new one? Red Dead 1 that came out, and it's nothing special to this new version. It's the exact same thing the Xbox players have had, but because it's gonna be now coming out for PlayStation 5 and 4, I think, and the Switch, it's gonna be $50 freaking. Like, oh, it's so freaking crazy. Like, there's literally nothing special with it. It's just Red Dead with a little bit better resolution. Sorry, Tommy, I don't want to miss your comment too. Tommy just added on saying that all consoles have their flaws, which is good. They need to be competition, sorry. Otherwise, they'll end up being one greedy company, and the video game industry will be screwed. I completely agree, Tommy. I'm always for competition. The more people going at this, the better it is for gamers in general, right? Like we were just talking earlier about Twitch kicking YouTube. The more choices you have, always the better options you're going to get as the consumer. Pizza is super nice, but I'm going to be the asshole of the night here. I'm gonna lay out one of my pet peeves. Now, okay, when I say this, right, I'm going to try to make this very clear because I know some people might get offended by it. But I don't mean to offend you. I'm just airing out my opinion on this subject. But my biggest pet peeve are like either a new streamer or a streamer that's been around for, let's say, I usually see the streamers that have been around, I'd say a year or less. I absolutely hate it. When somebody comes in full of piss and vinegar, they're like, yep, this is going to be my job. I want to make this into a career, yada, yada, yada. So you throw them some support, you throw them follow, give a few raids, whatever the case is, right? And then they make no effort whatsoever to be successful in that. So, I mean, they're not promoting themselves, they're not streaming on a regular basis. Maybe they'll stream once in a while. That part is about me. Like, whatever, you do you, whatever you think success is. The part that triggers me is when they follow it up with, "Yeah, it didn't work out." It's I'm just really sad that it didn't happen. It's like, dude, that's like getting a full-time job and going there like half the time. Like, like what did you expect from that result? Like you weren't putting anything into it, so obviously you weren't getting anything out of it. And like, crying about it on Twitter isn't the solution either. Like, get out there and do the work for it. I don't know why some people think they're gonna hit that go live button and they're gonna be like the Kim Kardashian of like Twitch. Like not everybody's gonna flock to you because Joe Smith is online streaming whatever game he's streaming this week. You have to put effort in to get some kind of result back. And yeah, it's just that always drives me crazy. And then it's like, you try to talk to them, right? You try to pump them up, and they're just like they act the same way. It's like, no, it just wasn't for me. It's never gonna happen. It's like, yeah, because you're not doing anything to make it happen. Like I said, not against anyone that actually is trying. It doesn't have and has limitations. That I respect and I understand. But those who literally try to make it sound like they're doing everything, but they've maybe streamed once a month and they made maybe one tweet about that they have a channel or whatever the case is. Yes, thank you, Tommy. I'm glad I'm not an asshole. You actually agree with me on this. Tommy just saying exactly. If it's going to be your job, then there has to be effort with like any other job. What about you, Pizza?
About how I feel about people who do that.
Yeah, but do you agree, or do you think it's a reasonable thing to be upset about?
No. I don't, well, I know personally I had not really gotten upset over my viewership or my followers, but I think maybe it's because I'm not on Twitch every single day, so maybe I'm not seeing it the the way other people do. But plus with my full time job, me and you we work a full time job, so we're getting paid like real money. So it's
Yeah.
not like we need Twitch to survive. And so I think because of that, I kind of made it a hobby, and so if people want to watch me, they can, and if not, then they won't.
Yeah. Like I said, and again, right, I want to make that clear. Like, your circumstance, like when I'm talking about this kind of stuff, is completely different from, the people that I'm referring to that behave this way, right? Like you said, you got a full time job, but the same breath too, like you make an effort. I've seen you make posts. I've seen you, try to put yourself out there. I'm talking about individuals who literally just will stream at random, make that one tweet, that one post in a Discord, or join a bunch of Discords and assume that everyone in those communities is going to follow them and watch them. But it doesn't happen that way. They get upset, almost like, a child in a store where he can't have the toy and his mom says no, and he gets, he throws a tantrum. Like that's literally what it reminds me of. It just, yeah, that's my biggest pet peeve, I guess, as far as like streamers go. As I usually see with people that have like streamed either immediately or within the last like year or so. It seems to be those that are a little bit longer. They seem like they're established and they know what to expect and what their goals and targets are going to be. And that's the other thing too. I think not a pet peeve, but just like a little bit of guidance is if you are a streamer or you're starting off, whatever the case is, give yourself reasonable goals. I've seen some that start off. Sorry, I should be taking my puffer. I've seen some that start off and they literally give themselves like a target of like 1,000 viewers. I'm gonna unearth 1,000 followers. I'm gonna get 1,000 followers in a year. It's like that's a lot of work. That's really really hard. Maybe give yourself a reasonable goal. Like Twitch literally has their first marker at 50 followers. Like that's very reasonable. Great starting point. You can easily grow from that. I think, yeah, like, just be fair to yourself because nothing's worse than setting yourself up for a goal that you're not going to hit. Thank you, Cheyenne. Sorry, live action asthma. But yeah, you guys have any other ones? And to be fair, right, these are all just conversation pieces. Like everyone's welcome to debate this afterwards when they watch it. It's not meant to be anything, where I want negative feedback on myself or pizza or whatever. Just a view. If you have a different view, share that point. That's all.
Oh, hey, sorry about that. I got pulled away for a second.
Oh, no worries, pizza.
But yeah. To go back to what I was saying, because I'm sure that people were wondering what my most important opinion was. But yeah, it's a hobby. I don't see myself getting upset over it. And when people do, I always try to wonder like, how does them complaining fix a problem?
I agree. Um, I think the other one was, and I don't know if you saw it or not, pizza. Kind of like on the same topic with toxic players, but the other one that kind of surprises me are like those that get like really pissed off when playing a game. To the point where they break something, they lash out or whatever. The reason why I brought up your mom is because she made a tweet where basically this one player, I guess, got upset with her. I think it was in COD, she said, and basically accused her of being a man because her voice sounded different. Um, it's just like, I don't know. I never understand like dumb shit like that. Like, yeah, I don't get how people can get that mad. Like I literally played Apex yesterday with 2-6, and I'm gonna tell you, we lost every single match for a good hour and a half, and like neither one of us got like upset over it. We were like, okay, whatever, we'll just play again. Like good game.
Yeah, I don't know. I never saw it. I never saw it as anything but a game. I mean, it's just I just play it to have fun and relax. I'm not even trying to be MOG. I'm not trying to become a pro Apex player because I know for a fact that I'm probably the last person to even call a pro. So I just play casually, and then when it's time to go to bed or it's time to go and do something else in the real world, I just go and do my real thing, and then that's it. So yeah, when people get upset about it or they start raging over it, I just look at them like they're crazy because it does seem kind of crazy.
Same here, man. Same here. Tommy brought up a good point too. Just tying into the previous conversation, just saying that complaining half the time could also be just a way to get noticed, which is true, and just to get extra tweets and stuff. I didn't really understand the point to that in the beginning, and Cheyenne kind of pointed it out to me, and then as I've been on Twitter more and more, I kind of noticed it with certain people. I'm like, okay, this person literally complains all the time, or makes it sound like every day is the end of the world. It's like, okay, they literally are just trying to get attention, which kind of sucks. Like I hate people do that kind of crap. It's just like there's a difference between genuinely being upset over whatever is happening in your life and being dramatic every single day, where it doesn't need that griefing. Yeah.
Ooh. All right.
Sorry, what's up, pizza?
All right. Oh no, I'm sorry. I was getting my dog moved around, but
Oh,
yeah, I do like Tommy's point as well. Speaking of which, I think, no, never mind, it wasn't. I was thinking about when I was playing Apex last weekend. Like this guy he was like just spamming like like cuss words and all that kind of stuff.
wow.
But I think for him though, I think that someone was hacking, and I think that's why he was doing it.
Like someone hacked his chat menu or what?
Uh, Probably. Well, I can't even tell because I don't know if he was mute or my speakers are off, but I couldn't hear anything. But yeah, just it was kind of going crazy. People were just like, question marks on like all the just being chat.
Wow. I'm not gonna lie, usually when I play, like, unless I play with like you or someone else, right, I usually just mute the squad I'm in. I know it's terrible. I know I should be like talking and engaging, but it's like I still want to deal if that happens. Like,
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, people that I meet a lot of people who have mics, and it's cool and all, but sometimes I just don't feel like talking.
yeah,
Especially when I've been talking to students all day. I just want to play the game.
exactly.
Like I'll text. I can text all day. So and I know I can do. I think personally, I do a good job of like communicating through text pretty well. Maybe not as fluid as talking, but I can still get my point across. So that's kind of how I do my thing. Some people they respect it. Some people, well, actually, what I'm saying, they all respect it. They have to because otherwise, I mean, it's not like I have, well, I guess I do, but it's not like they know my mic works. So I just say, hey, mic is broken, you know, or if it's a cool team, people who I'm cool with, and they're just they're trying to have fun and just kind of shoot the shit, then yeah, I'll turn my mic on.
That's
But that's
just
kind of it's not. I can't say it's rare, but it doesn't happen as much as I would like it to.
I was gonna say, even with I know Apex is the only one that does it, right? But with that game in general, right, the ability to ping and like you could basically communicate in the game without having to say anything, and I think that's a great advancement as far as games go. Because even when you can talk, like me, I struggle like telling someone like, "Hey, yeah, they're on the left hand side, up on that right tower, right? You got to shoot there." It's so much easier, I find, to just literally target the person and ping it, and then let them know, "Hey, the bad guy's there," or "Hey, I found this loot item that you should pick up."
Yeah, like I like how Apex has figured out a way to communicate only using the controller or the keyboard, which is great because like even when people are talking on the mic and like they're getting shot at or I'm getting shot at, I'm not focused on what they're saying. I'm focused on, you know, are you going to die or am I going to die? So that's my biggest concern. So if you're trying to talk to me and like I'm getting shot at, I just will not be able to listen to you. So at least if you tag, like if you start just pinging, I can see I can see what you're pinging while getting shot at, and it'll work better for me.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I like the ping option probably more than anything I've seen in previous games. Like Dead by Daylight, for example, you can't ping, but you can have your character point. I hate that, right? Because they can literally point at anything. I like the accuracy of the ping. Tommy was just adding on that there's new PlayStation Plus games that came out. No, I haven't had a chance yet to play them, Tommy. If I'm wrong, I don't think I am, but I'm pretty sure it was the Saints Row reboot, right? That we got. That's the big one. And I know there was two other games. I can't remember what they were. But I remember the Saints Row one popped up. That might be kind of fun to try out. um, yeah, yeah. I think that was pretty much all of my pet peeves. I don't know. Did you guys have any more other pet peeves that bother you?
Uh, uh, I don't. I kind of like that's just my biggest one. I mean, I'm sure that everyone could mention. Well, someone could easily tell me, "Hey, John, what about
Yeah.
EA or Activision or whatever?" I'm like, "Yeah," and I could mention it, but I think for me, my biggest problem is just that as a legacy player, I'm not getting the same type of I can't say respect, but I'm not getting the same type of like love in terms of video games. as the people who are focused on Last of Us or focused on, I guess, The Last of Us, really. So, that's kind of where I'm at. Everything else, though, it's whatever. So I mean, I don't really pay for microtransactions like that, so it doesn't bother me.
Okay,
But
well
yeah,
then,
that's kind of where I'm at in terms of my pet peeves.
I
I'm
think I
sure
get
that
it.
and I know that there are people out here who will say that doesn't matter. It's not important. It's a bunch of video games. And then, of course, in that regard, I would say, well, so is Activision. They're games too. So what's the point?
Like I said, I think I got a good
So
one for you, buddy. Then, as far as our end of the night question goes, so John, I have to go first. So, out of all the games that you've wanted to come back, whether it's Sly Cooper, Spyro, Donkey Kong. I know you mentioned in the past. Which which one would you feel the most excited to see come back? Oh, John, can you still hear me? Oh. Oh, I hope Discord's not acting up again. Oh no, John's mic's muted. Okay, when you come back, John, let me know. Sorry, Tommy, what'd you say, buddy? That's why you killed W Monster. No, I didn't kill a pizza. I swear, I swear. That's why you have people who just play retro games. It can be several times cheaper and several. Yeah, you know what? I agree. I mean, some retro games are very expensive. Um, but yeah, there. I was just talking about this earlier in the podcast. I don't know if you ever played it or not, Tommy. But I recently started playing Breath of the. Oh my God, Breath of the Wild. I recently played Breath of Fire. I have to say it really slow. From the Super Nintendo on my Nintendo Switch, and I've been having a great time with that game. It literally scratched an itch that I've been waiting to enjoy for quite a while on the Switch. I just wanted that classic retro um, RPG feeling. You know what I mean? The one where you don't have to worry about what to level up. You just basically level your character. It does all the stats for you. The only thing you have to pay attention to is what weapon you want to use, what kind of armor do you want to have equipped. Like, I love those RPGs. Oh, I could play those RPGs forever. Okay, well, hopefully John still will come back. He might be preoccupied with something. But I basically want to find out from him what game he would like to see. And then my question, and same thing for you too, Tommy, if you have one. Actually, yeah, Mr. Tommy, do you have a game or old franchise that you would like to see come back? Is there any ones that you really miss? It doesn't have to be that old, to be honest with you. It can even be from the PS4. But I just be, if all the games you played in your lifetime, are you like, man, I wish they made Golden Sun again? Like, is there a game that you miss? And then I'll lead into the question that I had. The first part is very important. I didn't see the Pokemon community game message. I thought that was your game. I was like, oh, that's a weird sounding game. Vanilla Light. Okay, here we go. Viva Pinata. Okay. Also, oh, sorry. First off, amazing pick, Tommy. Very out of the box. I did not expect Viva Pinata. Um, Love that game to death. Played it on the 360. I really want to get back into it because yeah, that was a good game. That's a good shout, Tommy. Okay, okay. Now that I'm done boosting your ego here because that was a really good pick. Viva Pinata comes back. It's on the PlayStation. But before that game gets developed, they go up to you, Tommy, and they say, what can we do in this game to make it better now? So they're gonna relaunch it, but what would you put into that game that you think it needed, or to make it be the next best sequel or third one of the game, whatever trilogy? Would you keep it as it is? Do you just want better graphics? Do you feel like it was missing a game mechanic that you'd want to add in? Do you think that making a multiplayer aspect? Like you have lots of options, right? So like, what do you think would be the best choice to make it successful? Because we always talk about games, right, that we'd love to see come back, but none of us ever really say what we would do if that game came back. Like, what would be the selling point? That goes to you too, Pizza, if you're able to come back in time.
Yeah, I just got back.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Pizza. I was asking earlier, if there was you mentioned a lot of games in the past that you really enjoyed, like Spyro, Sly Cooper. I think you mentioned Donkey Kong, and I would say, like what game, and it could even be just be from the PS4 or the Xbox One generation. Like it doesn't have to be old, but what gaming franchise would you like to see come back? Like for you personally.
Um, that's a good question. I actually don't even know, to be honest. I've kind of just been trying to go back to the catalog and really seeing what games I have enjoyed playing from back then. And, I would say Spyro. Well, I guess Spyro, that's always a good one.
Okay,
I wouldn't mind seeing another kind of just another game in it, another game in the franchise, just to kind of get it out of the system, get out of the system and just have it there.
that's perfect. So the reason why I have to know that is because my actual question to you is, let's say they're gonna make the next Spyro, right? But they go to you and they ask you, John, we want this one to be successful. It's been a few years, whatever the case might be. What would you tell them to do in that new Spyro game? How would you make Spyro, popular again, or make that game successful? Like, would you change a mechanic in it? Would you just do better graphics? You know what I mean? Do you think we need new characters in that game? Like, what would you do to make Spyro successful?
Honestly, I would just say, if they kind of stick to the roots in Spyro, and they should be all right. It's I don't. The issue with Spyro is that when their last game they made was, well, I'm not going to count like the whole that Skylanders. I'm not going to count that 'cause that was just like a spinoff. That was something else by a different company, anyways.
Yeah,
But like their last official game was back on the PS3, and that was a really good game. It had parkour, it had free roaming, it had all this nice stuff. And we only got it about one time, and then out of nowhere, they kind of stopped. So, it's like I kind of want to see what the next move is going to be. Like I mean, innovating always sounds good, but I do want to see what else they have, like just under the hood. Because I think if we gave them more time and money to say, hey, can you make another Spiral game, they would probably give us the next iteration. So that's really what I want to see is what's next for Spyro. Kind of seeing that next step.
what would you think? Because I don't think they really did this. I know they dabbled in this area, but I don't think they've gone all out. What would you think of like an open world Spyro game?
Oh yeah, that will work. I definitely trying something like that just to you know make use of every all the mechanics. I mean, yeah, he flies around. I mean, it's a dragon, making an open world dragon-ish Spyro game. That would be nice.
Yeah,
I mean, it'll definitely give them a reason to do more with the character. It'll give him more flexibility, just more control over everything. Yeah, that'd be nice. And then they can do all the cool stuff.
Because I'm trying to think of like when I played the game, right? And you could still have
Yeah,
like the portals, right? Like the open world could just be
that's
like
the
a
problem.
really large hub world, right? Like just a really big open world hub world. But you can still have the portals on every section of the map that you want. And I'm trying to think like I think there's the character Moneybanks. You could really utilize him to have to pay him in order to unlock different pathways throughout that open world. Like I think it could work that way. And then Tommy, sorry, his pick was Viva Pinata, and what Tommy would do is way bigger gardens, way more pinata animals, better multiplayer options. That's cool, Tommy. I brought that up because I wasn't sure if Viva Pinata actually had multiplayer. That's neat that it did. Graphics were fine. I agree. I think the graphics were really well, and make it harder requirements for the animals. Ooh, you found it was a little too easy, to get them all. I didn't like it. It definitely wasn't like it wasn't difficult, but I did find some of them a little bit tedious to get to. But I agree. I agree. You know what? It could step it up a little bit and make it a little more difficult.
Mhm. Whew. Okay, now we're good. I'm sorry, I keep stepping back, but I'm good now.
No, no worries, buddy. I get it if you're busy. It's no problem.
Oh yeah, but I'm good now. And yeah, that's a good idea though. Make an open world spiral game. Actually, you know what? I guess you could just make well, no, they have. I was gonna say open world Crash Bandicoot game, but they already have one.
Ooh.
Well, it's semi open world. It's like the um, Crash Titans. Yeah, Titans game. It's like I think it's open world. I'm not sure, but still though, the idea sounds pretty cool though.
I'll have to check that out. I didn't know Crash had like a kind of an open world game. That's kind of neat. I'll have to look that one up after.
Yeah, it was called Crack Mind Over Mutant. No, yeah, Mind Over Mutant. That was one of them, and then the other one was like Crash, the Titans. I think they're PS2 games, and I think either it was cool because it was open world, or no, I think it was because it was like a brawl. It was like a fighter kind of game as well. Well,
Ooh.
not a, it was like a brawler kind of Crash Bandicoot game. So it had the Crash mechanics. You just added like monsters fighting. So it was pretty cool. It was innovative.
Yeah,
I
that's
liked it,
neat.
but I don't think it went very far with other fans because I think for the diehard Crash fans, they just want only Crash Bandicoot. They wanted more of that, which yeah, that's cool. You can have it, but I definitely enjoyed that. I guess you could say the next step of Crash Bandicoot. Making it more just about everything, everything including the standard stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm
I
with
liked
you.
it though.
I don't know if you ever tried it or not, but I really enjoyed Crash Twin Sanity, where you and the bad guy kind of get stuck together, and it's a totally different take on the puzzling in the game, because you basically have to roll around together, and like it was really different. I know a lot of people didn't like that one either, but like I thought it was really neat. Like you could play as Crash in some parts. Like I'm sorry, I forget the bad guy's name. If it's Cortex or whatever his name was.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. So you could play as him in some parts, and then other times you both got stuck together somehow, and then you had to navigate through the level rolling together. I think it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I haven't played the game yet, but I have heard about it, and yeah, I heard about how people didn't like it. But they weren't saying that it was a bad game. They were just saying that it wasn't Crash Bandicoot, which I
Exactly.
mean, like I get it if you don't want it to be anything else, but I mean, like I'm sure that if we gave the dev that creative freedom to do more, they probably could have came out with like some bangers. It may not have been the classic, but it could have, maybe having an actual open world Crash Bandicoot game where you could just like, you could run around and just explore different areas without a loading screen or like making little small levels. You know, make it make it a free roaming game. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure that if we gave the devs that type of creative freedom, we probably would have been having like, who knows, maybe we could have had like we could have like a not an MMO, but more like just a open world multiplayer Crash Bandicoot game.
I agree with you, right? Like it's like a good example I can think of is Halo and Halo Wars, right? Two different entire games, right? But same lore or world, whatever you want to call it. And it's just because yeah, people got to be creative, right? One person saw Halo as a first-person shooter, another person saw it as a real-time strategy, right? Or even Mario. I mean, Mario's branched out into so many different categories at this point, right? Like, yeah, I agree. Like sometimes it's nice to have that mascot or whatever it is, but you want to experience it in a different way. Either it's an RPG, a platformer, a puzzle maker, whatever it might be. Tommy was just saying to you that Crash Bandicoot 4 was a lot of fun. And Tommy, you literally read my mind because I was going to ask Pizza the same thing. He brought up one more classic mascot for us. He's just asking about Sly Cooper. He's like, a Sly Cooper returned. What do you think that they would? What do you think they should change if they made a new one? He was mentioning that he thinks Sly Cooper should be a little bit longer because he finds them relatively short.
Mm, yeah. I have. I mean, I have only played the true. Well, I can't say that. I'm lying in that case. I have played majority of the trilogy, and that's kind of where my expertise in the whole thing kind of fades away. But I liked it though. I definitely enjoyed what it was. I enjoyed what it was trying to be. Well, I mean, it did it successfully because
Yep.
there really aren't, there act, no, no, there isn't. There is not a game like Sly Cooper being made at all. I think once the last one was made, Sly Cooper 4, once that was made, people just people didn't care to emulate it, which kind of sucks because like Sly Cooper, like it has very intuitive controls, and everything feels fluid, like everything works. Like I mean, it's but that that's classic sucker, yeah, classic sucker punch stuff. Like that's why Ghost of Tsushima felt so good when you're doing parkour. Like everything felt fluid, everything, all the buttons made sense. And so, you know, I to see them kind of just stop with like before, there could have been more, and what Tommy was saying. I'm sorry if his name was, hopefully Tommy, that's his name, was saying
Yeah.
it about making it, longer because I don't know if I can't say they were shorter levels because I died a lot. I mean, I died a lot on the first two Sly Cooper games because they were
Me
just,
too.
to me, they were hard
Yeah.
because it required a lot of just, it required, I guess, some luck, but it really required vision. It required like some technique, and every time I just could not get it to save my life. So for me, the levels were always long, almost half an hour long for no reason. I didn't say being short, but at on that same I guess comment or whatever, you know, make it make it open world. Like you can definitely do a lot with an open world Sly Cooper game.
Oh yeah.
Make it like a thief simulator. Well, not like that, but I mean, make it all about you're just doing heists all around the world, which I guess you're doing anyways. So let me rephrase that. You're doing heists all around the world with companions, making a multiplayer game, so you could have like five different or I guess four different Sly Cooper characters, all having different colors. Maybe you could make like community events where, hey, if we get 100 things stolen every day, we'll give you guys a skin or like a new cane or like just something fun.
That's smart.
Like just to kind of keep that momentum going. But of course, that does require us to give them more freedom, and I think that the fans want it more, but I don't know. I don't know if they were thinking about just making it the same Sly Cooper, or if they want it more in terms of just making it something different, something bigger. Because I know that for Spyro, people love the Spyro changes. People hated the Crash Bandicoot changes. So for Sly Cooper, it could be a mixed bag. It could be a gamble.
Okay, I never played 4 either. I'm with you, John. I only played 1 to 3 for Sly Cooper. But the open world idea, I actually really like that. Because I feel, unless I'm not remembering it correctly, but I'm pretty sure in 3, as you were going through the campaign, you were in a van, and the van was kind of moving across. I want to say the states or like wherever it was, whatever country they were focusing on. So you could easily have taken that little cutscene out and just literally replaced it for, I can't remember all the characters' names, but Sly Cooper's buddy there that usually drives the vehicle. He literally could be driving, and you could be controlling him going into the next town or next city, and like you said, doing the next mission or whatever heist it might be. Tommy was also adding on, sorry, that in Payday, the mass they had the Sly Cooper gang. That's really cool. That's super, super cool. Sly 4 was going through time. Oh, okay. I mean, that's cool for campaign story, but yeah, I just mean like I think John's point of view for Sly Cooper could work like really well. Actually, I could totally see it being like an open world game. I say this as someone who usually hates open world games, but I think there's some that would benefit a lot from it. Just like I said, not every game can be an RPG, but there are some games that really benefit from having an RPG mechanic.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I'm just saying open world because I think like almost every game is now becoming an open world game. I don't mind. I definitely like games where you can kind of explore, and I think having characters like Sly Cooper and Crash Bandicoot, and I guess Spyro being open world, it makes more sense because like the first few games have already established what like what the company is good at, and also what the characters excel in. And so it only makes sense to give them more freedom because giving Spyro an open world makes the most sense because like his whole power, well, I guess his power, like this his whole, I guess, characteristic is just he's a dragon. Like you want to give a dragon verticality, you want to give him open space to just fly around, so that makes sense. Make it open world, or like just make it free roam.
Yeah, even free roam would
So
be
yeah,
cool.
like there are certain games that deserve to have the open world treatment to enhance and to like um accompany, or not accompany, but there's a word like to like it goes well with the character, matches the character. And I don't think any character deserves it more. Well, yeah, I don't think anyone deserves it more than Spyro because that's literally the only one I can think of. You can make a whole game just around him. Like you're not doing a thing where you're doing Starfield where it's revolved around you, but you need to have a thing, or you need to have like your ship and whatever.
Yeah,
No, it was Spyro. Like literally, it's just character. It's just you and your little Firefly friend just flying around. Like no, I don't think any other game has given a single character on his own game where he uses what's on his body as a weapon, as transportation, as everything, like even Deus Ex, where, your character is part machine, he's not part car. So, like there, there are some games that get close to it, but yeah, Spiral is probably the only game where literally the the name, like just him on his own, he could make the whole game pretty much. So yeah, I think he deserves some type of treatment like that.
That's a really good point. I never really thought of that before. Yeah, Spyro does it all without the gadgets. Like, wow. And it's so entertaining.
Yeah,
Like, it's so entertaining.
yeah, like, and we know it works because he's had all these games, and not one of those games has he ever needed to use a gadget. Well, he hasn't. The gadgets were never like his extension. They were just
Yeah,
things. Like
like
he
different
never
fire
needed it in
breath
the
or
end.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So then I was like, he was the ultimate weapon and also the ultimate vehicle. So that's why the games are fun because it was just us being a dragon. We didn't need to have a gun or we didn't need to have bombs or whatever. We didn't need a plane. We had a whole dragon to work with. So it was fun just having him as the main character. It'll be fun making a whole open world game with just him as a character.
That's a good point. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I said I never really thought of that before. Yeah.
I was just rambling. I don't. I
No, no,
don't.
it's
I don't
really
know.
good
I
though.
don't know if people are gonna take that to heart. I just. I was just like, like that's just the only game I can think of where you
Yeah.
can do everything without having a need for all these little doodads, and the game is still gonna be fun.
No, just a good point to bring up. When someone asks you like, "Why should I play Spyro?" I mean, that's a solid point. Like Spyro's had how many sequels at this point, and it's always the same thing. But yet, to be honest with you, like every one of them feels a little bit different, and it's like you said, it's nothing to do with the character. The character is always the same, maybe different power ups, etc. But the story is always the same. You're a dragon. You're saving other dragons, and it's always a great time.
Oh yeah, and I think that I think if you put people to a screen like just made them play that game, like they would instantly be hooked on it because Spyro's the kind of game. It's just like Crash Bandicoot. There are games that you just put in and you play. Like you don't
Yeah.
have to. There's no real backstory for it. There's no need to. There's no learning curve. It literally is just put the game in and play. Like and that's really why I like playing. That's why I play the new Crash. I play the trilogy on my Steam Deck almost every time because like that's a game I can just put in there, play for like a few minutes, and then be done with it. A very arcadey game, but that's kind of what made Crash Bandicoot so good, at least for me.
Oh yeah, no, me too. Like I said, you need those games. It's fun to have, like you said, the ones that are 60-hour long stories and deep exploration, all that other stuff. But there's some moments, like I know I've mentioned this before, to someone in the Discord, where you need like that action, or sorry, that arcade game. Like we need a little bit more of those to come out. Just the games that you can plug in and plug out. It's nothing you're gonna get like overly attached with, but it's just a good time every time you jump into it.
Yeah, and that's it always helps kind of cleanse the palate because outside of games like Crash and Spyro, like we definitely have like some games, plenty of indie games are like that arcadey, but if you don't count those, like all we have are like we have Cyberpunk, we have Red Dead, GTA, we have all these blockbuster racing games. Like everything we play now is like a mini movie.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't want to do all that. I don't want to play a game that I have to watch cutscenes all the time. Or I don't want to play a game that looks realistic because, even though I have a 4K TV, sometimes I just want to play a game that's just cartoonish. Kind of ease the brain, like ease the eyes a little bit.
I agree with you. I definitely get into those moods quite often. Which is one of the reasons why I'm happy to have a Switch sometimes, because then I can be like, let's play some Mario.
Oh yeah, I mean, and like, see, when you said that, I can now see the appeal of having a Switch and having Nintendo because sometimes I just don't want to play, you know, and I know I'm going to sound crazy, but sometimes I just don't want to play Apex. Sometimes I just want to play Crash, and like there are times where I will actually boot up the emulator just to play it offhand because I can go through, just put up an old PS2 game like Crash and Spyro and play that, and then I'll be happy because I get away from all the first person shooters. I want to get away from all of the realistic games that like, oh my god, this could be a real life thing. Like it's fun to do sometimes, but yeah, I need something quick, something easy, and something mindless. Even like that the gem game, Gems of War, like that's the game I might play just on my phone, just to shoot the shit, because it's like it's easy.
Yep,
You turn it on, you you match diamonds, or you match gems, and then you're done.
exactly. Yeah, good little time waster when you want to play a game, but you want to get invested in anything big.
Yeah, and like that's just me though. I'm sure that's people might disagree with me on it because they think that we should be going in the direction of having games that look so real that we mistake it for real life. And y'all can have it. I don't, I'll definitely buy those kind of games, but I just know that there's going to be a place in my brain and my eyes for a simple, a very simple 3D game that was made in the 90s, because that's kind of where that's really where I can turn my brain off completely and just enjoy a quick little session.
Yeah, it's sad. I feel the same way, Pizza. I'm sure quite a few people will too. I said not everything's gonna be the big blockbuster game.
Yeah, I mean, we already have like I'm sure, including Starfield, we probably have about 20 of those.
Oh Christ, yeah, this
And
year alone already.
yeah, and I mean that's cool and all, but like it's just I have to sit down and I have to look at all the cutscenes. I have to like look at all the people talking. Then I gotta walk around. I'm like, yeah, this is cool and all, but man, just all that work when
Yeah,
you could turn on Gems of War and beat 5 levels by the time a cutscene is done.
exactly. Like I don't know. I've always said it before. Like when they have this many that come out so rapidly, like are you even enjoying the world at that point? You know that like you play one, the next month you gotta play another one that's 40 hours long. The next month you gotta play another one that's 40 hours. Like are you really getting that invested in these games, or are you just playing them just to beat them at that point? You know.
And yeah, so I guess just that's just kind of how we are though. I guess maybe it's just a '90s, it's a '90s thing or an '80s
Maybe.
thing. Yeah, it might be, because I was talking to my students about like these old things. I was talking to them about this about you know Beanie Babies and like talking about Dare. Like, you remember Dare, right? The Dare program.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, I was, like we were talking about drug use. I'm like, I was saying, yeah, it was like Dare, and like people were just looking at me like I was crazy. I'm like, have you guys ever heard of Dare before? And like they were just staring at me like as if I was saying I'm gonna dare to do something. So I was like, oh, I had to kind of show my age a little bit by talking about these programs and talking about how when you went to the arcade, every arcade said winners don't do drugs. So that I mean, I don't think they understood what I was saying because it still sounded foreign. But it definitely took me way back.
Oh yeah, no, I feel you, right? And it's crazy being like I said being the generation that got to experience all these things. Like, um, I still remember the transition of people being able to smoke in a restaurant, and then it transitioning to the smokers area, the non-smokers area, and then finally just no smoking at all in the restaurant. Like there's just there's so many things that now if you were to explain to someone, they'd be like, "How was that even a thing before?" It's like, no, it was, and like this is the steps we had to do.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like, like just like growing up back then, everything was different. Like, I remember I remember just being in elementary school, like, we had, like, I was telling my students, like how almost every year we had like almost 3 trips. We went every time, I guess, season or semester, we went somewhere. It didn't matter where, we just went somewhere.
Yep.
Like, I used to go to the museum at least twice a year, or I would go to the aquarium. I would go out of the city. Like we just did so much in elementary school, and then of course, we had all we had a very unsafe playground, but it was super fun, and nobody complained about it. We had 6 foot high monkey bars. We had this giant spider web thing. We had a much bigger rock wall to climb. Like it was super fun. And then of course, I went, when I was growing up, they kind of took these things away. They started saying, no more of this, no more of that. And so, here I am about almost 20 years later, and yeah, they butchered everything. They made they made it all kind of how people will say they made it all snowflake like, because everything now has protection. Everything now has to be catered to the weakest kid. So a lot's changed, and of course with trips, I know that COVID hit, but even nowadays, people are like, even though COVID's been done for about 3 years, well, about 2 years, we're not doing it anymore. So it definitely was like, man, it was one of those you had to you had to be there moments.
Yeah, I know I'm probably one of the minorities for this, but like when you were talking about trips and all that, like as someone like from my family, like my mom was pretty scared to travel around the city and outside the city. So the opportunity to have those field trips and have them as often as I did, I got to see things that I might not have been able to go to, like museums, like you said, and aquariums and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a real shame. I didn't think schools kind of stopped that program. That's disappointing because that was a really cool.
Yeah,
Like I got to see like sports games too that I know my mom would never want to take me to. So like for me, like I'm with you, man. Like I think that was an excellent idea. It was good to like have that for the students every couple of every semester or whatever it work out to be.
oh yeah, and like it worked out well because like the school had so much money just to kind of say, let's go and do something fun for the kids. And
Yeah,
it was always something good happening. And it's yeah, it kind of sucks now that we're kind of leaning away from it, nowadays. But of course, to be fair though, the average kid in the year 2023 has the IQ of probably a frog. Like they cannot think for themselves anymore, which is like that's a shame because like now it's like I have to go and teach them. It's like I have to go and teach kids something that I knew about when I was in kindergarten and first grade. Like it's basic stuff, and they don't care. Like they want to be on TikTok all day, or they want to be on Twitter, like we're just kind of trying to be all famous. So like I don't know. It's all above my head. I call myself a mini boomer, but it's just it's crazy how the world is getting worse.
I get you. I know it's really frustrating. I never like. I mean, I'll use my phone too, right? But it is really funny when you hire someone new that's like just turned 16 or whatever, and it's like it's such a foreign concept for them to understand that they have to put their phone in their locker and they can't touch it for like 4 hours. It's like yeah, like I'm sorry, but that's just like how it works. You can't have your phone on you. Yeah, but how can I tell the time? How can it's like there's literally clocks. Like there's like everything you're throwing at me right now is like there's a solution to it. Like what if my mom needs to get a hold of me? It's like okay, then she can call the store. Like you could use the store phone.
Oh yeah, I remember went back, back when I was doing the same thing. Like he had a phone, it had to be somewhere. Couldn't be in your backpack, it had to be in the locker. And
Yeah.
yeah, like I mean, I managed because like yeah, we had a big ass clock just right in the middle of the room, and that's like we even if you were bad at telling time, you learned how to tell time
Yeah.
by staring at that clock. So it definitely helped us kind of learn that skill. I know what big hand and little hand mean now, so that definitely helped me out. And plus, I mean, not being on the phone all day, like it really it didn't kill us.
No.
It did not kill us at all. In fact, I think that not being on the phone kind of taught us that we don't have to be on it all of the time. And I'm glad I learned that lesson because like I tried being on social media for a week straight, and I just could not do it. I was losing my mind looking at all the same, like just these posts. It was like I just felt like I was getting stupider being on the phone. So me having that period where it was no phones and just focus, I think that transferred over into a useful skill.
Yeah. I feel the same way, buddy. Like I said, it's just it's just funny. It is funny how it's turning out nowadays. Um, It's weird to say that, right? Because I can totally remember my mom and my grandparents saying the same thing, about our generation. Oh, but yeah, thanks, pizza. I appreciate this. I had a good conversation with you tonight. It was nice hearing your opinion on different subjects. I know we kind of trailed off of the main one, but I liked it. I think we found some good things to talk about tonight.
Oh yeah, me too. I definitely enjoyed it. I always like being able to just kind of, just have a conversation. And I'm sure that the people watching they don't mind. So I'm pretty sure that they were probably thinking the same thing we were, and
Yeah,
just we kind of just you know we read their mind.
I agree, buddy. Well, I hope you have a good evening, and thanks again for stopping in with me tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. And yeah, hopefully you have a good night, you have a good week, and yeah, I think maybe not today. It's kind of well, maybe tomorrow. I think tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm gonna try to do tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm gonna just what's the word? I'm going to muscle through it, and I'll just be streaming. It might be a couple hours at night, but I'm gonna get back into it.
Yeah, for sure. If you get the chance, make sure you put it into the self promotion so we can all kind of tune in.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. I'm going to be doing that, and I'll be posting in the whole Twitter, like those little Twitter shout out Twitch threads
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I think that before I start the stream, I'm gonna just do a mass comment train on these threads, and then we'll see what comes from it. Because if it does blow up that way, I think I'm gonna start sending those little links. Like I'm gonna send those little thread links to Discord, and that way everybody can have a chance to get exposure just being online.
It's a good test. Like I'm actually kind of curious. Yeah, if you do it for a week there, like you were saying, if you were to do that trend for Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday stream, how many viewers you would get. Doesn't even matter like followers. Just it's interesting to see how many followers you'll end up getting.
Oh yeah. So I just want to see what could come from it.
Yeah,
And if it is something that just becomes if it becomes bigger than what I think it is, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna try it again. But yeah, rest of the week I'll be streaming, and you know, hopefully it all goes well. I'm sure it'll go well. And yeah, man, I'll invite the gang. Y'all can chill with me, and we'll just kind of kill time.
that's awesome, buddy. I look forward to it. You have a good evening, Pizza. I'll catch you next time.
Oh yes, sir. See you soon, man. You take care too.
Bye bye. And did I do it right? Okay, there you go. Perfect. But yeah, for the rest of you guys, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for stopping in tonight. I'll probably carry this topic over to a few other guests as well because I'm interested in who JW has because he's a very interesting guy. I love his conversations as well. I feel like if it is something that's a pet peeve to him, it's going to be a very good topic for him to talk about. And Jimmy too. I would love to hear what Jimmy has to say because he's usually a pretty positive person. So it'd be interesting to hear like actual like thing that annoys him, right? Yeah. Anyway, I will catch you guys all tomorrow for some Skyrim, and then Friday for possibly Shadow Mordor. Still, sorry, not sorry. I love it a lot. But we'll see what happens. Hope you all have a beautiful evening. I'll catch you next time. Bye.